Hello, it's Caledon and Explorer here, and keep watching if you want to find out about our sunrise tour of Angkor Wat in Cambodia. So we went to bed nice and early because it was a 4 AM start the next day, but we didn't get much sleep, so we were feeling a little bit rough. We went and met our tuk-tuk driver, who I'm pretty sure said he'd been out drinking just before he came to get us, but we chose to ignore us and let him drive us anyway in the absolute pitch black road. When we arrived, we walked about 1 kilometre to the entrance of the temple and waited for the sunrise. And the sun was already coming up and the sky was already lighting up with nice colours. And as it got brighter, we started to see what everyone had been talking about. You know, this place was amazing. It felt like the opening credits of some romantic Hollywood movie, except there's about 200 other tourists there. Spent some time getting some photos and some videos. It was pretty magical, the orange and the blue in the sky. It was just really pretty. It was something that I don't think I'll ever be able to see again. After watching the sunset, we headed inside. The place is pretty enormous. Apparently it took something like 300,000 labourers and 6,000 elephants to build the place. One thing I found really interesting about the temple was on all 4 sides, it was perfectly aligned north, east, south, west. I mean, this did start to raise my suspicions about whether humans actually built it, but I'll leave that discussion to the conspiracy theorists. The temple was apparently built for the king, which kind of made me laugh because all the walls were covered in naked women, which I'm 100% sure was something that he personally requested. After Angkor Wat, we headed over to Angkor Thom. This is an even bigger temple complex, though slightly less well preserved. Over here we seen Bayon Temple, which was a temple that was covered in faces. I think this was maybe the 12th century version of Big Brother is Watching. It was really cool inside, but also been renovated so we couldn't really see it all. We also went and seen various other temples, terraces and shrines, which were all amazing in their own way. But the tuk-tuk could only take us so far, so we did a lot of walking and it was starting to get really hot. The area itself was huge and nestled deep in the jungle. Just driving around it was fun enough, but walking about it was even more amazing. After lunch, we headed over to the last stop, which was Ta Prohm. You might recognise this from Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie. This is probably my favourite stop. Not because of the movie, but more because nature had kind of taken over this temple and turned it into this really cool post-apocalyptic place. People also kept trying to get photos imitating Angelina Jolie's poses in the movie, but they were also getting shouted at for removing their shawls, which were covering their shoulders. Which is a little hypocritical considering she didn't cover hers in the movie, but I guess she gets a pass because she adopted a Cambodian baby after the movie. Anyway, we were absolutely knackered after all this, so we headed home sweating more than we had ever sweated our full lives. All things considered, the trip was an astounding success and probably the best thing we've done so far in Asia. It was a little expensive, $20 plus tip for the tuk-tuk and $37 entry fee each, but once you're inside the place, the experience is priceless. Like and follow for more videos and tips.